Hello, I'm Michelle McCormick with the League of Women Voters of California, and with me now is Peter Camejo, Green Party candidate for governor. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Take the first minute of our time together and tell us, who is Peter Camejo?
Well, I'm the unfortunate person that's taken on to the Green Party because we think our system is broken, and certainly in California, the choices that we have, we just don't see it. So I've come forward to do that. I'm a Venezuelan American. I was born in this country, but my whole family immigrated here. I'm first generation, really. And I work in investing, and that's been my profession for the last 21 years.
And how are you particularly qualified to be governor?
Well, I'm qualified primarily because I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I mean, these two parties I consider corrupt and bought by money. They're corporate control. I think we live under corporate occupation right now. I wrote a whole book on this called California Under Corporate Rule because the choices are so obvious. For instance, 52% of our corporations pay no taxes in California, even though they're profitable. In fact, if we just had them pay the same taxes they paid 20 years ago, we could have enough money so that we would not be paying $1,000 less per student in our school system than the national average. It's the fact that the corporations now don't pay taxes anymore. Like I said, the overall majority now do not pay any taxes at all. The total taxes have dropped 4%. The taxes for the rich has collapsed. The poor now pay a 57% higher tax rate. All of these things are intertwined with what makes me really a reasonable candidate, because I want to represent the people of California, not the money that has control over these two parties, the major parties, and their candidates.
Who are your heroes, your role models, your mentors?
Well, I like Tom Paine. I think he's probably one of the greatest Americans. What Tom Paine said, still today would be a challenge for us to try to make real democracy in America. And I think America, there's a long tradition. Some of the people that I really look back to are those early abolitionists who ran for office against the two major parties that were pro-slavery. And they said, we will never again vote for these two parties. They're doing a horrible thing, slavery. Well, we think today they are destroying the planet. And so we run as an alternative. And I think what they started, the Liberty Party, and also other third parties have done in America. People don't understand the incredible contribution they have made. So I look to them, and I really honor and respect them. Eugene Debs and the Populists and the Greenback Labor Party, all of these currents that appeared in America, tried to make it a better place, didn't quite succeed at the level that we would have wanted to, but had a big impact. Won the right for women to vote. It was a women's party, had to be formed to fight for that. And so those third parties have played a major role in our history.
Who supports your candidacy, and what does that say about you?
Well, it's amazing. I've run twice now, and people who vote the most for me are African Americans, Latinos, and the poorest people in the state of California, and young people. If you take those four categories, not the people, the young you would understand, but most people would not think these are the people who vote for the Green Party. Everybody thinks it'd be environmentalists and people very concerned with what's happening to the planet. But it's amazing how it's the social issues that's attracting votes. Now, in some places, our votes has grown dramatically. Our candidate for the mayor of San Francisco got 47% of the vote, running against a candidate endorsed by the Democrats and Republicans combined against him. And where was that vote? It was the youth of the city and the Latino community that voted massively for us.
What do you see as the greatest responsibility of being governor?
Well, I think is to represent the people, not money. And unfortunately, this is done, I think, to a great extent in an innocent manner by the people who do this, because they actually believe, what's good for General Motors is good for the country, and they say, look, for 35 years, the pay of Californians on average for 90% of the population has not gone up, while our economy more than doubles. That has never happened before in American history. Why is that happening? Taxes are 57% higher for the poorest people than the richest people. It's sort of obvious where this thing is going. And so I really think that's the key question of who you represent and who you really work for.
What will be the defining issues in this particular election?
Well, education.